Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we like to begin by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rocha Kodash, giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who surely do rule well. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
And even unto the sincere aqua, the sisters who sit listening these lessons in silent subjection and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
With a couple of brothers here, Maya Shala,
Wahanana.
come out here to bring out a little bit of edification, and Lord willing, this lesson is a defined topic for the lesson. YAHAWASHI is the one who will fulfill or bring about Jacob's blessing. In the book of Genesis, chapter 27, I'm going to read from verses 27 to 30. And you get better?
Right, Genesis 27, verse 27.
Right?
And he came near and kissed him,
Right.
and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had blessed.
Right.
Therefore power gave it thee the dew of heaven,
Right.
and the fatness of the earth,
Right.
and plenty of corn and wine. So like let people serve thee,
Let people serve thee.
and nations bow down to thee.
Right.
Be Lord over thy brethren. Let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Right. So, the blessing that denotes the fact that Jacob has been given the gift, because when they go into the word blessing, it goes into gift. And in this instance, it goes into what? Something that was given you, gifted of you. If you want to get.
Let's see. Genesis 27.
27. Right. What I would blessing saying with that?
Bless is Barak. Means a bless.
Not that one. I'm press blessing and see.
Blessing.
Let's see, get our word.
Same thing.
Go verse 35.
Verse 35. Right there.
Yep, go ahead.
Blessing H1293 Baraka'a. Blessing, source of blessing, blessing, prosperity.
Prosperity, right? So favor.
Blessing, praise of power.
Right.
A gift, present, treaty of peace.
Right. So the nation of Jacob has been given the what? The what? The gift, present, treaty of peace, the praise of power, the prosperity of having the rule and dominion of this earth. And this has been a prophecy, because according to the prophet Daniel, because he's going to be a key, person to bring out during this video, he even details and tells you that YAHAWASHI is the one who's supposed to be the one to fulfill or realize this blessing, right? If you had our word fulfill.
This is fulfilling the online etymology.
Yeah, I gave it to the Miriam notes, sir.
The fulfillment, a filling or carrying out, completion.
Ooh.
And we went to the word fulfill is Old English fulfillion, fill up, to make full, take place of something. It says completion, which is ultimately from the same root.
Right.
We see so it was used from mid-13th century in reference of prophecy.
Ooh.
Probably translating Latin in pele ad implere from mid-13th century as do, perform, carry out.
Carry out.
Consummate, carry into effect.
Ooh.
Complete, finish, satiate, satisfy, gratify.
And just go into that word consummate as well.
Consummate.
Ready.
Okay. Consummate means to complete, perfect, carried to the utmost extent or degree.
Oh, right. And I had the word fulfill here from the Merriam-Webster. To put into effect, or what? Execute. Example of it being used in a sentence: he fulfilled his pledge to cut taxes. Yahawashi is the one who's going to carry out, put into effect, execute, or consummate the blessing of Jacob that was given of him by Yahawashi himself. If you understand reincarnation, if you could receive that Yahawashi was Isaac. He's the one that's going to fulfill the said same blessing that he gave. And this is a prophecy that
ultimately it would have to be him who would be, giving all the blessing, because the earth was his originally, his originally. So if he had to get to any nation on the earth, if any nation in the earth had to get it, had been given by him.
Right, which is something we're going to get into as well, Yapa, to bring it up. But what? First point you want to make here, this blessing being fulfilled is actually a prophecy. If you could give me Daniel 2 and verse 44.
The book of Daniel,
right?
With a translation to or just straight to the point?
Straight to the point, 244. Right.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings,
right,
shall the power of heaven,
Yahweh,
set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed,
right,
and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. And we're going to this, and in the days of these kings, we reference on the days of these kingdoms, because every other time they refer to a kingdom, they say king, it's referring to kingdoms, because our kingdoms rule a kingdom.
Right.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Yapa, and what? It says, shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom. So, this is the will of the Most High Yahweh. If you could give me Daniel 7 and 18. We can go back to the Daniel 2.
Okay. The book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse
18.
Yeah, you want to read higher?
No, we go
go back to the 2. Okay,
that's the next point.
Like Daniel 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forevermore.
And what? Even when you go into that word kingdom, what it goes into? Reign or dominion of the realm, control of the realm, kingly authority. Which I said already, but I just want to go into it just to show on the screen. Right? 7:18. It goes into the Hebrew Strong's H4437, which goes into Malakwa. Royalty, reign, and kingdom. Royalty, kingship, kingly authority. Realm of territory, reign of time.
And the time is forever.
Right, so which all that we're going to get into as well, Yapa. Because what? The reign, the realm of territory, the reign of time, the royalty, the kingship, the kingly authority, the kingdom is for Israel. It is for Israel. And the one who is going to bring this about is Yahawashi. Before we get that, I just want to get this precept here. Sirach chapter 10 and verse
from 1?
No, that's 4.
4, okay. Book of Sirach, chapter 10 from verse 4.
Right.
The power of the earth is in the hand of Salak is in the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
One who is going to set over this world is ultimately the one who will bring the kingdom to the Israelites, and that man is Yahawashi. If we could go back to that Daniel 7 and verse 13. From verse 13.
Daniel 7 and 13.
Right.
I saw in the visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man.
Right, who is the Son of Man? Yahawashi. So, as per the prophet Daniel, he's telling you that the kingdom and the rulership that the Israelites is said to have, which is said to be forever, which we're going to get into, which maybe we're going to get into it is, we just saw it. Daniel 2:44, Daniel 7:18, what they shall take the kingdom and possess it forever, even forever, and what? it shall not be left to other people, as Daniel 2:44 says. So the rulership of the Israelites that was promised to Jacob all the way back in Genesis 27 is actually said to last forever. But why is it that it is mentioned the Son of Man here? Because he's the one who's going to bring that rulership. Go ahead.
And one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven,
Right.
and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
Right.
And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Should serve him, just like what was said to Jacob by Isaac in Genesis 27. So one minute we see the Israelites had a rulership, a kingdom, a dominion like that, but now we see YAHAWASHI is being promised the same thing, or we see in the vision this is going to happen, this has to come to pass. There's a prophecy. We see YAHAWASHI being given the same thing that was promised to our nation. But
that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
So come on, the same kingdom that is promised to the Israelites was actually promised to YAHAWASHI. This has to start through him. If we could go to Philippians 2. Yep.
Look at Philippians chapter 2. I believe it's from verse 4, 5.
9.
9? Okay. In Philippians 2 and 9, wherefore Paul had highly exalted him.
Right.
I read 5 and then jump down.
Alright.
In Philippians 2 and 5, let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahushai.
Right.
Jumping on to verse 9. Wherefore Paul had highly exalted him,
Because of the mind that was in him. Right.
and given him a name which is above every name. And when that word name is onoma, which means rank,
Right.
authority, dominion, power.
Command, excellencies, dignities, things old to him. Right? Well,
That at the name of Yahawashi, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in the earth.
and that has things in the earth is what the kingdom of the earth, the rulership of the earth, as Sir Tenant says.
And things under the earth.
Right.
And that every tongue should confess that Yahawashi and Mashiach is Lord, to the glory of Yahweh the Father.
Which is important why we had to mention the Father, because this is all the Father's will. The Father's will is that what? The nation of Israel should rule the earth, as Daniel 2 says, shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom that which shall never be destroyed.
That's in like Daniel 7 25, I believe it is.
No, that is the time and time.
Yeah, no, it's not that. I'm trying to remember the scripture. It's the power of the earth is in the another one. Not the power of the earth is in the another Lord.
Oh, the basis, amen.
Yeah.
Daniel 4:17.
4:17 to
Yeah.
The book of Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, be the angels, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So ultimately, whoever in charge is the will of the Lord, and the ultimate will of the Lord is for Israel to be running things.
And we know that because
By the
again,
order of his son.
Yeah, because what? That is the promises to Abraham, passed along to Isaac,
passed on to Jacob, passed on to the 12 tribes.
Yeah, because as Romans 9 says,
You want one time?
to who pertain the promises.
Yeah, we got one time, yeah. Look at Romans 9 and verse 4.
Yeah.
I will read from verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh,
So you related to these people by blood,
who are Israelites,
and now we're going to identify the Israelites. Right?
to whom pertaineth the adoption,
Pertain mean to belong, so they belong to the adoption of what? Adoption of sons by the Most High. Hosea 1 and 10. There you shall be called the sons of the living power.
in the land where is said unto you are not the children of God, then there in that land shall be said unto you, ye are the sons of power.
Right.
And the glory and the covenants
Right.
and the giving of the law and the service of power and the promises
And the Promises. What promise? The promise to rule the earth forever and ever.
I read verse 5.
Yeah.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh and Mashiach came.
Because what he's coming, even as the Mashiach came, he's coming again to what? Fulfill these promises. Go ahead.
Who is over all power, blessed forever. Toward that time and to what?
And it's a good thing Yahawashi is an Israelite. Because here the thing. How it is now you could promise a kingdom to one group of people that which shall never be destroyed and shall never be put out. And you also promising it to a man as well. He's key to this whole thing because his promise to rule and to have the reign and have the dominion is the promise of the Israelites. It's the same promise. He's the one that has to bring it about as well. If we go back to that Daniel 2.
And evidently to he himself would have to be an Israelite, and he won't be able to fulfill these promises if he wasn't. And the scripture says what is evident that our Lord came out of the tribe of Judah.
And what we say in Genesis 49, his scepter shall not depart
Apart from Judah till Shiloh comes in Shiloh.
And the scepter is what we think about the scepter is
rulership dominion.
Yahawashi has his scepter. He's going to give it to as many as he sees fit, which is something we're going to get into. But go ahead.
They say Daniel
2 and verse 45, because verse 45 really tells the vision here.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
Who's the stone? The stone is Yahawashi. Go ahead.
The stone which the builders refused the rock, I think it would say, which the builders had refused the stone which the builders had refused had become the head cornerstone, or the chief cornerstone.
Right. It's made the head of the corner, right?
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So the one who broke all these kingdoms, remember when you read higher up in this chapter, all these kingdoms were likened unto what? Clay, miry clay, and iron, brass, gold, silver. These things was what our statue these was the kingdoms represented by the head of gold Nebuchadnezzar. The Babylonian Empire, Assyrian Babylonian Empire.
Then we go into the Medes and the Persians,
which is the silver, then is the brass, which is the Roman Empire, and the Greek Empire toward, and there's the iron, which is the Roman Empire.
Right, so what? The kingdoms of this world which were promised to rule in these times and even the times before, and all the rulerships they ever got. The one who stopped it was who? The one who smote the image. And that one is Yahawashi. Remember, Daniel 2:44 says, shall the power of heaven. So he wants to set up the kingdom of the Israelites to rule forever. And the person who carries out the will of the Father ultimately begins with whom? Yahawashi. If you could give me Hebrews 10 and verse 7.
In the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 7.
Yeah.
You should read Psalms 47 one time to back it up.
Yeah, I'd have to go there one time, and then if you could give me Ezekiel 9 and the last chapter. So Ezekiel 9 and last verse.
Hebrews 10 and 7 then said, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O my power.
Right, so what it is written of me to do thy will? Who's that? That's Yahawashi.
Psalms 40 and 7 go expound upon it more. Go ahead.
Yeah, Psalms 40 from verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, I delight to do thy will. And what he will is, again, that Daniel 2:44, because it says the power of heaven shall set up this kingdom. Right? O my power, yeah, thy law is within my heart. Go ahead.
There's Ezekiel chapter 9 and the last verse.
Right?
And behold, a man clothed with linen.
And we know this man is Yahawashi, because I believe it's Revelation 19. I can't remember which revelation it says he was clothed with linen. Let me see.
No, let him say that.
Right, Revelation 19:14.
14.
And the armies which were in heaven followed upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Yahawashi was also in this linen, as Ezekiel 9 says. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 9 and 11.
Right.
And behold, a man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me.
I have done as thou hast commanded me. And what is Yahawashi's command? Is to rule this world, is to become the Lord of this world. Because what he, as well as the Israelites, was promised to have his own kingdom as well. Give me Revelation 12 and from verse 5.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and 5.
Right.
And she brought forth a man child.
Right.
That's on 5 here. Revelation 12 and 5. And she brought forth a man child.
Right, the nation of Israel.
Who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And Revelation 2 tell you that.
We going into all that?
We're going there, I can. And her child was caught up unto power, same vision Daniel see, same vision John and the other disciples see, and to his throne.
No, well, let me necessarily see the vision of it.
Now, let me see it in real life. Let me see the vision fulfilled. Let me see the vision of it and then see the vision fulfilled.
Yep.
And the woman fell into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of power that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Right, and the point there is that verse 5, which is what? Who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. You have to understand the rulership of the Israelites begins with the rulership of Yahawashi. If you could give me that Isaiah 9 from 6, Babu Kasha.
Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given.
Right, and what again, a child is born, a son is given us. So we know they're speaking about the Israelites here. And in verse 5, they now say, and she brought forth. I've likened the daughter of Zion unto a comely and delicate woman. So we know they're speaking about the same son, the same man. Right?
And a government shall be upon his shoulder,
right.
And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And even if we can, as that in Revelation, I believe it is the first chapter, 114, I think it is. Get that real quick.
Yeah. Revelation
114, my apologies. Revelation, where is it? Revelation 1 and 6.
Revelation 1 and 6, and had made us kings.
Salakia, read from 5.
No, well, Salakia, that is our point we could bring in for later point.
Alright,
yeah, so go back there to Isaiah 9.
Okay. Revelation Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
Same like the kingdom of the Israelites. So you're seeing the same promise and the same authority he has. The Israelites have it, so he's the one who has to start it. Go ahead.
Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it, to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even furthermore. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts will perform this. And we know it's hard to be talking about Yahawashi because in book of Luke chapter 1, verse 31 to 33, there we go next.
All day we go in because we have to understand. He must rule his people and give them rulership. It is his to give, because if we could go to that, as I said, Luke 1, we could start there as well. They say from 31?
Yeah, they Luke 1, chapter from 30.
I actually was thinking about that next
precept. From 30.
I was actually thinking about the next one in the same chapter. But go ahead.
Alright. They Luke 1 and 30, and the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with power. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahawashi, and he shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. Everywhere is called the Son of God, the Son of Yahweh. The Lord, and the Lord Yahweh power shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Same promise.
Right? And what? If we jump down now to Luke 1 and 68.
From 67.
From 67, and his father Zacharias was filled with the Ruach HaKodesh and prophesied, saying,
so we know this is coming out of Zacharias. As the scripture says, holy men of power who was moved by the Holy Spirit. So we know this in coming straight out of yes, this is sure word here. Good.
Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh, power of Israel, for he had visited and redeemed his people,
Yahawashi is the Redeemer.
and had raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Yahawashi name literally means he is salvation.
Right? And as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all them, of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. We see in Genesis 27 from 27 to 30, the covenant, the oath which he swore unto our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him in all the days of our life.
Scripture said in Revelation 20, you'll get out.
Which is what? That is the Israelites' kingdom being fulfilled there, to serve we power and not have to worship no other God. And it's not being illegal. And this is the kingdom of the Israelites. And it's saying here, he had visited and redeemed his people. And what had raised up an horn of salvation? Who is that? It's Yahawashi. So what? He's the one, if you could give me that. Micah 5.
In the book of Micah, chapter 5 and verse 2.
Yeah.
But thou Bethlehem Ephratah,
Right.
though thou be little among the hosts of thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from old, from everlasting.
Right. So what? He that is to be what?
Ruler
in
in
Israel.
Israel.
So if he's the ruler in Israel and Israel are the rulers, he's the ruler of the rulers. He's the one who gave them rulership. If you could give me Revelation 9.
I'm going to read it Matthew 2 and 6. Read it Matthew 2 and
Matthew
6.
2:6?
Okay, it's saying ruler in Israel. This one you get better.
There. Matthew 2 and verse 6, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least of the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. And Israel is said to be the rulers of the earth. So what? Who gave them their rulership? It was Yahawashi. In Revelation 19, because he's the one who has to get the rulership first and then give it over.
In Revelation 2, is it?
No, and Revelation 19:16.
The book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 16. And he had on his vesture and his thigh a name written,
Rank on in the Greek.
King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
So it's what? It's a kingdom of priests, as the scriptures speak about. I believe it's Isaiah. It says your princes are all together kings. So
read Revelation 1 and 5, Babu Kosha.
Revelation
Before I read that, because the Lord tell Jacob it plain.
Yeah.
Read Genesis 35 and 10. And power said unto him, thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And power said unto him, I am power almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
Every single man who can be a king in this earth could trace the lineage back to Jacob. So what? The man who fulfilled this, or who will fulfill this, is Yahawashi, because even Psalms 2 said it.
I read Revelation 1 and 5 here too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And from Yahawashi Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, being why he was the first one raised from the dead unto immortality, because that people raised from the dead, but them didn't get raised unto immortality.
Yeah.
And the prince of the kings of the earth. When you go into that word prince, that just means ruler. So he's the ruler of the kings of the earth.
Yeah.
If the kings of the earth run in the earth and he's the ruler of them,
He get first, and we can read it here, guys.
Unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and made us kings, made us kings and priests unto Yahweh and his Father. To whom be glory and dominion forever and ever. To what I tell me and to Absalom.
No, not that, but I could not say it better myself. That is literally what he did. He made us king, because just the last precept here to prove that point, that he get the kingship first. Psalms 2 and 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. Yahweh had said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Who is the begotten son of the Most High Power? Yahawashi. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Same blessing Isaac gave Jacob. You shall rule this world, right? Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And if you could give me it now in Revelation 2. Because what? It Yapa, that way you now read in Revelation 1, it was on 15? 5.
1 and 5.
1 and 5, because
4, I think it was.
Because what? Just to say what?
No, from 5, I'll start from 5. Yeah.
No, and verse 6 is the point here. And he had made us kings and priests unto Yahweh and his Father. Right? So what? He made us kings and priests, because that is exactly what it is. The same authority, the same kingship, the same rulership, the same authority that he walking in, he gave it to his men. If you could go ahead.
In Revelation 2 and 25.
Right.
But that which ye have already hold fast till I come.
This truth.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So he giving it out.
Right, the reign, the authority, right?
And he that, so like verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I've received of my Father. So even as he getting it from his Father, he giving it out.
Which is exactly, see in Psalms 2, he get the right to be the king of this world.
I can't believe so like that. I'll finish that. There's verse 28, I will give him the morning star, and he that hath an ear, so like he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
So what we understand, that YAHAWASHI just promised to give the same authority, the same power, and the same rulership that his Father gave him. He just promised it to whosoever will what? Overcome it and keep it his works unto the end, which is what? The elect. And you can
the Lord tell it straight to David here. David come and ask him what's going on, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, which if you understand by the Spirit, Peter is David.
Right.
Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that had forsaken houses or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
So what that is just the promise there. I am going to give you everything that my Father had given me. What? Romans 8, if you could get. Romans 8:17 speaks about the joint heirship.
Book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 17.
Right.
So that I read from 16, and the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of power. And if children, then heirs of power, and joint heirs with our Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
So what? The ones who suffer with YAHAWASHI are the ones who are going to be glorified with him. And what? Joint heirs, the heirship, the kingly authority that YAHAWASHI has. He just said he will give it, what? To whoever suffer with him. If you give me because what? Revelation 14 says it. I saw on the Mount Zion the Lamb, and he stood with what? 144,000
having his Father's name and his
written in their foreheads, right? So it's not he alone going to rule the earth, but what he
our next one for you too. There's you can go around me down. Our next one for you.
There is Revelation 20 from 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them.
And they that sat upon them, I think.
Now they sat. And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them.
It's 20 reading Salakia. And selling 14, good.
Yeah. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of YAHAWASHI, and for the word of power, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years, which is just the point there. They lived and reigned with Mashiach. his reign starts, and it's been extended to the 140 and 4,000.
And we can prove that here
because
because
the elect men, right?
in Psalms 122, I think it's 5. Yeah, they Psalms 122 and verse 5. I read from 4, whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, they give thanks unto the name of Yahweh, for they are set unto the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for they are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David.
So it's not one throne, it's thrones. It's not one king, it's a king. It's the king of kings. It's the Lord of lords. It's many, right? You read it there, the Revelation 14:1.
I read Revelation 14 and 1, and we know these kings will have to be these men here. Revelation 14 and 1, and I looked and know a lamb stood up on the Mount Zion. Which you get that second is just shock really that.
Because what that mount again, that mount goes back to, I believe it's when it goes back, when you're going to go into the word government.
Yeah.
In that Isaiah 9 it goes into mountain. Even what the Isaiah 2 or the Micah 2, so the Micah 4, which is the mountain of the Lord shall be established in the top of all the mountains. That is what we see, this way seeing here, this government, this rulership. Go ahead.
And I looked and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, about him 140 and 4,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And reading other translations, it says his father's name and his name. Because when I read this, we had to read the second as just 2. I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, as the voice of a great thunder. I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sang as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man can learn that song but 140 and 4,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
Right, that Revelation, so you know that John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So they didn't follow any other way, any other truth, any other life, but YAHAWASHI. Yep.
These were redeemed, so that these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Right.
These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb YAHAWASHI.
Which is what?
And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh.
And what first fruits, which is YAHAWASHI, was spoken of as what being the first of many brethren. So that's the point there. YAHAWASHI got the authority, the kingship, the rulership, and he gave it to his men. But when you read that second as well, you can make the final point and close.
The second is just 2 from...
Oh, because he was the one who crowned them.
Exactly. The second is just 138. Arise and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which are departed from the shadow of the world and have received glorious garments of the Lord, being these new bodies. God, what are we representing? The new bodies. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. I as just up on the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praise the Lord Yahweh Shai with songs.
It's funny because what? We know Ezra says one of them gonna be there because John saw on the Mount Zion, he saw on the Mount Zion. How were they able to see this? They were there. Right?
And in the midst of them, verse 43, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, being YAHAWASHI. Upon every one of their heads he set crowns, was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal. Now, in verse 38, say verse 9, which are departed from the shadow of the world and received glorious garments of the Lord. I be referring to the new bodies and put on the immortal and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So that then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowned with them and giveth them palms in their hands?
Who made them kings?
And he answered and said unto me, It is the son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. So that we know it's his father's name and his name.
Because what?
No man goes unto the father but by me.
No, but even then, that same that Revelation 14, these were they which were not defiled by women, right? For they are virgins. So what? They confessed the Lord. They believed in him. They didn't believe in any other doctrine. Go ahead.
Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord, YAHAWASHI.
So we just saw it there, YAHAWASHI. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords made the whole house of kings kings and the whole house of lords lords. And what? Last point we're going to get into here to close. For all of this to happen, while all of this is happening, a little bit before and a little bit after all of this is happening, Esau's kingdom must be taken out of the way, because what is in the day of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom with that which shall never be destroyed. Which king is it that ruling in these last days? If you could give me it, that is 2 Ezra 6.
Book of 2 Ezra. It's a lot here. You know, I like to read from a New English. I'll come and look.
Alright, good.
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 6 and verse 9 in the New English Bible. So I can read from verse 7. Tell me, I went on, about the interval that divides the ages. When will the first age end and the next age begin?
Right.
He said the interval will be no bigger than that between Abraham and Abraham, for Jacob and Esau were his descendants, and Jacob's hand was grasping Esau's heel at the moment of their birth. Esau represents the end of the first age, and Jacob the beginning of the next.
Oh, so what? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, right?
And I keep reading verse 10, because that's important day. The beginning of a man is his hand, and the end of a man is his heel. Between the heel and the hand, Ezra do not look for any interval. So as soon as Esau's kingdom down, it's time for the Lord's kingdom.
Yes,
And then in between that, because people seem to believe that when Esau's kingdom going down, that either China or Russia will take it. Take the rulership of the earth after, but that's not going to happen.
Which is Zappa, because what? Esau's kingdom is the kingdom that will end before our kingdom begins. If you could give me that in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7.
So you'll be taken out of the way.
Yep.
In 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7, for the mystery of iniquity don't already work.
Right.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
He who letteth will let. Yahweh is allowing Esau to reign and to rule and what to go into position and to do all of these things. What? Until he be taken out of the way, because the kingdom and rulership that will be taken out of the way for the kingdom and rulership of Yahweh, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, why the Israelites to come into play is the kingdom and rulership of Esau, Edom. If you give me that Matthew 12:29, Salah.
Because eventually Esau Edom had to rule anyway, because he was given rulership on about 25 times.
Right.
Because we know his rulership, so we know Jacob's rulership was eternal. The blessing which Isaac gives to Jacob was an eternal blessing. So that would have to mean if he give Esau the same blessing, Esau will have to be 5 times.
Right.
Because he end up saying it, he'll end up bowing to your brother Jacob.
Right. Matthew 12.
Matthew 12 and 29, you see?
Yep.
Look at Matthew chapter 12 and verse 29. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he first bind the strong man?
Which is spoilers to what it take. Which is when I believe when Simeon and Levi would have slew the men in the city, when they do the spoil the city after.
Yeah.
When David and him men used to go to war, they used to do this to enjoy the spoils there. If a world war is to take place, where thing gonna be the spoil is the earth. And what? Again, YAHAWASHI is the man to do it. He's the man who's gonna take Esau out. If you get that Mark 3:27 says the same thing, I believe.
Let me see. Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
Read from there.
Yeah.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
When Esau is bound, even when I believe that Revelation 20, verse 1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. A chain is what? The binding tool. When YAHAWASHI comes back here, what do you think he's going to do? Everybody going to be slaves.
That's right here. There's Psalms 149. Yeah, in Psalms 149:5.
Right there.
Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand,
Right.
to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people,
Right.
to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor of all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Yahawashi being what the saints are the saints, the horn of Israel, the horn of salvation. Yahawashi first gonna bind, and then he gonna hand the chain to the kings after. Because what? There's verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, 22, Revelation 22, so like that. And he lay hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, Esau, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season, which is what? He who will let it will let, until
season right now.
until he be taken out of the way. And what? As Revelation 11 says, Esau will be taken out of the way. If you could give me that, Revelation 11 from verse 14. Because what? The culmination of the third war and everything we heading into, which I think that could even be a part 2 as well, right? Esau's kingdom must be taken out. We could go into the means through which it's going to be taken out. Because what? Yahawashi say he going to bind the strong man, because they can't take the goods unless you bind the strong man, and the goods is he goods. The earth and the people thereof, like, them belong to him.
The gold and the silver is mine.
Right? Right? So the gold and silver is mine. So whatever Yahawashi want this earth and everything in it, as he promised Jacob in Genesis 27, then what? He had to beat up the man who have it in his hand right now. And what? In who will found the blood of the saints and the prophets and all these people. Right now Esau owned the world. It was given to him. But what? His world must be taken out before Yahawashi could take it. So he must be taken out of this world. He power and he rulership and he dominion and everything that he have to hold on to this earth, that must be taken out for Yahawashi to get his word. To the God.
Revelation 11:14, the second war is past,
right?
And behold, the third war coming quickly.
Which the culmination of the third war is speaking about World War III, the end of World War III, when the nukes are shut off at Babylon near you. That's going to be the end of Esau's rule, right?
And the seventh angel sounded. There were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord Yahweh and of his anointed Yahawashi, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Verse 16, right?
And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshipped Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yeshai, power almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned.
Right, verse 18.
And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come,
right.
And the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest
give. Even when the nations were angry and thy wrath is come, Revelation 19 says, what? Who treaded the fierceness and the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the almighty power? Who do that? Yahawashi. He treaded the winepress. Go ahead.
And the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Esau must be destroyed for Yahawashi to get this earth. And we talking about destroy like wipe out, but he must be taken out of the way. He must be put in chains. He must be bound, and Yahawashi is the one who's going to do it. So, God willing, this lesson was edifying and that you were edified. In closing, we like to say, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kodash. Like to give double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who surely do rule well. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we like to say, Shalom.
Shalom.
And even unto the sincere Akwat, the sisters who sit listening these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say, Shalom. This was your brothers,
Hanana,
Wa Maya Sha'ala, and until next time we say, Shalom.